You have 10 seconds to answer the riddle before I punish you for being such a blundering Nimrod.
Because the cat is super huge and everyone can see it. No, because the guy is the Superman. He can see the cat, or Superman saved the cat. Because it's the daytime. If it was the middle of the day, of course there would be no moon or stars out. And of course he'd be able to see the cat because it's the middle of the day. It's daytime.
Wow, you're only half as dim-witted as I once thought.
Oh.
Yes, and as the sun shines light upon a new day, I shall now shine some light upon your situation with the Joker. I've gone over some of the footage that the clown has sent you, as well as your videos.
Great, so now the Joker and the Riddler watch my videos. That's a comforting thought.
Yes, and you were way too hard on X-Men First Class.
Why does everyone think... You know what? It doesn't matter.
Well, I noticed that there were a few things that were off, actually. First off, the signal isn't worth tracing, because it just goes all the way back to some random garage somewhere. Probably belonged to some poor sap the guy's murdered. Also, it's no use trying to find his IP address, because all that keeps coming up is ha 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 ha. However, there are patterns to how he talks to you.
Patterns? What patterns?
It's simple, though not simple enough for someone like you to comprehend. He never calls you by his real name.
Wakey, wakey, Laserdork. Just calm down and keep your straitjacket on, Ladderdork. Shut it, Logger Crude. Well done, Laker Food.
Now, what can we deduce from this?
That he likes calling me names?
Yes, the world's most notorious murderer has now stooped to name-calling. He's doing it because, as he told you...
I find it funny.
What do you mean?
Come on then, try to jumpstart the few brain cells you have. Think. Didn't you wonder about how the clown got you here in the first place?
Why don't you just tell me?
Because once a riddle is solved, it is no longer powerful. I'm just leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for pigeons like you to follow. Who knows, maybe you'll actually follow it and find a way out of here. Not that I'd count on it. So long.
But wait!
Well, it's about time. Are you ready to put... This is Arkham Origins. What the stink? Whatever, you'll get it sent to you. Are you ready to play?
Well, no, Joker, not really. Mostly because I'm tied in a straitjacket.
Man, are you still in that thing? You know how cheap Arkham makes those? How do you think I escaped so much? Just tug a little bit on the left side.
You knew all this time, and you wait till now to tell me?
All right, let the games begin.
Check my head, I guess the joke's on me. Whoa, I'm not laughing at the irony. Oh no.
So let me just say right off the bat of this review that Arkham City is my favorite video game of all time. And so with that being said, when I heard about Arkham Origins, I was both excited but also a little worried. Mostly because there were some little things that went up that to me were like a red flag that could have led to it not being a good video game. The first one was that this wasn't made by Rocksteady, as they handed it off to WB Montreal. And while they were using the same fighting mechanics, handing it off to another studio that hasn't proven themselves to be able to do the Batman formula like Rocksteady has, to me that just seemed like risky business, to throw an unknown commodity into the mix. The second red flag for me, that it wasn't being written by Paul Dini, who wrote the other two games, but instead it was written by a man named Corey May, who is one of the writers of the Assassin's Creed series. Now, it wasn't that he never wrote a good game or anything, it's just, I knew no matter what, Dini could write a good Batman story. So even if the combat wasn't up to snuff, I was still sure that no matter what, I would be guaranteed a good story. With this guy, I wasn't guaranteed that. But the last thing that got me worried about this game is that there is almost none of the original cast in this game. I mean, some of them are the same, like the Riddler and Deadshot. However, Batman and the Joker are played by new actors, with Roger Craig Smith as Batman and Troy Baker as the Joker, which is pretty interesting considering Troy Baker played both Two-Face and Robin in Arkham City. But of course, playing an extreme personality like the Joker is a whole different ballgame. So what we had was a new studio, a new set of writers, and a new set of voice actors. There was plenty of things that could go wrong. So now we'll go over the game and let you know if I feel like they overcame any or all of these obstacles. I would say let's dive into the madhouse, but hey, I'm already here, so let's just go back to the beginning with Arkham Origins.
By my count, there are still 9 more ribs I can break.
So the story of Arkham Origins is, on Christmas Eve, Black Mask sets out a bounty of $50 million on the head of Batman, and 8 assassins come from all over the world to collect. So Batman is scrambling all over Gotham, taking on these assassins and many other threats from all angles throughout the course of the game. Now, one of the things I was a little disappointed with is that in the trailers for this game, you can see that Deathstroke and Black Mask are built up as the big baddies in this game. However, that is not the case. Deathstroke is actually one of the earlier boss battles, and you don't even fight Black Mask at all. Well, then you might ask, if the story isn't about Black Mask and his assassins, then what is the story about? Well, once again, it is a Batman-Joker story. But it is not only that, this game is the first Batman-Joker story. That's right, this is about the first encounter between Batman and the Joker. Actually, this story is how Batman meets a lot of his villains for the first time. I mean, this is the first encounter between Batman and the Penguin, the Joker, and even the Riddler. In fact, this is before Edward Nygma was even the Riddler. He refers to himself as a mystery, so Batman starts calling him Enigma. And so now, instead of finding Riddler trophies, you are finding data packs that he has hidden all around Gotham that he's using to blackmail people.
Man, I was this close to clocking you!
And now you'll get nothing but some broken teeth if you don't tell me where you hid the extortion data.
I'll tell you where it's at, but it won't do you much good. I'll be back on my feet in an hour coming for you.
No, you won't.
So the story has a lot that it needs to deliver on. I mean, if the audience doesn't think you're telling a good enough story for the first Batman-Joker story, then you're not only going to be disliked, but hated. But the story adds new twists that I wasn't expecting. I mean, during this game, Joker wants to kill Batman. I mean, we have normally seen a Joker that will either never kill Batman because he feels like they are a part of each other, or a Joker that wants Batman dead because he keeps on getting in his way. However, something that has never been tackled before until now, at least not from my knowledge, is the Joker's transition from someone who wants Batman dead to someone who can't imagine life without Batman. I will admit I wasn't on board with this story till about halfway through the story, and then I truly started to feel what the story was trying to tell. I felt at first, oh, come on, another Joker story? I was all ready to have the story be mostly about the 8 assassins with the Joker in it, but no, it was a Joker story first with Black Mask barely in it, and most of the assassins are side missions. However, there is a moment in this game where all that didn't matter anymore. The moment where the Joker discovers that he doesn't want Batman dead and that he needs Batman. It is a dark and creepy moment. It is one of my favorite moments in a video game. So for those who were worried that the story would not be as intense or interesting as the previous games, they can be rest assured that that isn't the case. One of the things that I do find lacking a bit is the thug conversations. I mean, in Arkham City, I can't recall any occasion where I'd heard the same line of dialogue coming from a thug repeated more than once. However, in this game, I have gone over a group of thugs, heard them talking about something, do my side mission, and then on my way back, they are saying the exact same things that they said 5 minutes ago. However, the side missions are still as entertaining as ever. There are a few that are not and are pretty boring, but for the most part, there is a variety out of all of them. Although, while I haven't done all of the side missions, I will say that my favorite one is Mad Hatter's. I mean, it's just so creepy, creative, and dementive. It's everything that you could ask from the Mad Hatter, that I kind of wish he had more than one side mission. However, I will say that Arkham Origins is missing something from its game. And that would be Arkham. There is no Arkham Asylum in this game. It isn't even mentioned by anyone till the end credits. Look, I get it that it's hard to keep on coming up with names for your game that involve Arkham, but if this game isn't about the origins of Arkham Asylum, then maybe it's time to move on to a different type of name, because it kind of feels like naming a Superman game Smallville, and you spend all your time in Metropolis. So in all, the game delivers in telling the first Joker-Batman story, and it has a good grasp on how an early Batman and Joker would act, and knows what notes to play to keep you interested. Add on to that a top-of-the-line voice cast, which does a phenomenal job at continuing the story from Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, and you just got an all-around good story.
Where's the girl?
What have to be me?
Alice.
Excellent. And you know why you're here.
If there's one thing that I can point in this game that they've improved on from Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, it would be the design of Gotham City. This place looks amazing. I mean, everything from the bridge to the buildings of Gotham look just as foreboding and detailed as they did in Arkham City. However, the landscape is much larger than before, and there is much more to see. I like how the areas that you visit when you were in Arkham City feel much different than before, but they feel also similar, so you kind of know your way around. However, I will say that I think the map might be a little too big. I mean, in Arkham City, if I didn't look at my map, I had a pretty good idea where I was just by looking around. In Arkham Origins, I find myself constantly looking at the map to see where I was. Also, in Arkham City, you had the excuse that it was part of the city that was cut off from the rest of the world, so it made sense that there was no other people in the city besides the occasional political prisoner. However, in this game, there are 0 civilians in the city. I mean, I know it's Christmas Eve, and there's a snowstorm, and there's supposed to be a citywide curfew, but come on, we don't have anyone, not even a homeless person on the street? I mean, you didn't need to have the streets bustling with people, but it would have been nice to see a few people out there other than street thugs and police officers. I will say that all of the villains and all the characters have a very good design to them, and some of them are even improved on. I mean, the best change that I think they did was to Copperhead, who in the comics has always been a guy with a snake head. However, not only did they change Copperhead to a woman, but they also gave her a really cool design. Normally, I am not a fan of changing a villain from a man to a woman for no reason. However, since nobody cares about Copperhead in the comics, I say keep this version of Copperhead, put this version in the comics, and you might get some people that actually care about this character. However, one thing that you probably have noticed if you played this game is the bugs. Let me put it this way, I encountered my first bug on Arkham City a couple of weeks ago. And I encountered my first bug in Arkham Origins within my first few hours of playing. I had a character get stuck inside of ATM. I had the game freeze on me at least 3 times playing the campaign. I don't want to get into the whole thing as, hey, remember when games were completed, they were actually completed? I don't want to get into that. All I want to say is that it is annoying to have bugs in your first hour of playing the game. However, in any case, Gotham City still has all the gothic feel to it that we love, and the rest of the city really comes alive in its designs. Now, if only we could drive the Batmobile down the street, then we would be set.
Talk, or you won't be walking anywhere, ever.
No way! You gotta answer for dropping me off that rooftop, buddy!
When it comes to the gameplay, I am conflicted on how they handled it. let me just say that both in Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, one of the best things that you did was discover new items and moves and how that affected your gameplay throughout the campaign. However, if you were looking for that experience throughout this game, well, there are really only two new items that are worth mentioning. The first one is a sort of improved grapple claw. This is where you can lock two things in your sights, and then the grapple will grab both of these items and slam them into each other. So you can slam an explosive container to a thug, or even when you upgrade it, you can hook a thug to one of the perches above and leave them hanging. Then there are the shock gloves. Now at first, I thought that this makes the fights too easy, because let's just say when you're fighting normally, there's always things you have to take into account, like the larger thugs that you need to stun before hitting, or some with the riot shields, or the guys with the knife, blah-de-da-de-da. In fact, there was also a few more different types of thugs that they have added to change up the combat. But I will get into those in a sec. Anyway, with the shock gloves, you don't have to worry about all that, as you can start punching through anything. Just tear anything up. It doesn't matter if it's a riot shield or a big guy, you can just start punching the crap out of them. And as I said, at first I thought it was too easy, but as the games continued and the thugs kept on getting harder and harder, I realized that it was an essential part of the game. However, other items that are meant to be upgrades are really just excuses to have upgrades similar than those that were in Arkham City, but not exactly the same, because, you know, it's a prequel and you can't have the advanced weaponry in Arkham Origins when you didn't have it in Arkham Asylum. For example, the glue grenade is the exact same thing as the freeze grenade. There is literally no difference. And even though I know it would make no sense, I would have loved to have the electric shotgun in this game. I mean, that is replaced by this little stun grenade, but if I use it, it is mostly by accident as I press the wrong button wanting to shock people. If Rocksteady made this game, I would expect a lot more from them. However, this was made by another studio, taking a shot at an already beloved fighting mechanic. If they changed too much, people would be outraged and not like them because they changed too much. And so they took the route to change very little so that those who love these games could jump right in and not feel like they have to relearn how to play the game all over again. I do have a complaint about the leveling up mechanic because some of the items are downgraded so they can be leveled up, especially the Sonic Batarang. I mean, that has always been one of my favorite items, to throw it, lure someone into the area, and then explode it on them, taking them out. However, in this game, when you originally unlock it, it doesn't explode. All it does is lure opponents to certain areas, and then you have to do certain tasks to unlock the ability to have your shock Batarang actually shock them. I felt that that was unnecessary, and also one of the things that bugs me is that when you upgrade something, there is no sound. I mean, it's the exact same deet that the rest of the menu has, so sometimes you don't even realize you've unlocked something. I also found myself getting hit more than I normally do. Now, I don't know if Batman just feels slower, or it's because there's a grading system that tells you how you did in taking down that group of thugs, and you just realize how bad you were. I don't know. I just felt like the combat was a little bit slower, and there was a few things that I felt weren't as reliable as they were in Arkham City. Now, when it comes to the new types of thugs they've added, there are some thugs that know Kung Fu, and so you have to double counter them, and there are some that have some venom in them, so they're a lot more powerful. Now, I feel like these thugs were unnecessary, because I found them just so annoying, and I was more frustrated than I am used to be by playing an Arkham game. Because usually, when I die because of the thugs, I realize it's because it's my fault. But here, I feel like sometimes I die because the thugs are cheap. However, in the end, while little has changed in the combat, it is still the fun, fast-paced fighting mechanic that you love. If you can't get over the fact that there are little changes, then I understand where you're coming from, but I guess for me, I just see the game as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Behind bars or beyond them, these people never change. As long as they live, Gotham is stained.
This isn't the way.
And here I thought you might understand.
When it comes down to it, I will not say that Arkham Origins is a better game than Arkham City. However, I might say it is better than Arkham Asylum, or at the very least on the same level. That is mostly because the upgrades that have been included since Arkham City make it a more expansive game than Arkham Asylum. For story-wise, I might go Asylum over Origins, but it's about the same for me. They're both very solid. So it has a solid story, the pacing is well done, the voice acting is still top of the line, despite not having the cast from the animated series, and overall it is a pretty solid game, bursting with tons of content, and it gets an 8 out of 10 from me.
Okay, Joker, I did it. I did it. Arkham Week is now over. So, will you please set me free? And please don't let it be one of those stupid things where, oh, I'll set you free from your own pitiful existence and kill me, because that would just be stupid.
Well,
That was your plan, wasn't it?
do I really look like a guy with a plan? Well, nevertheless, a deal's a deal, and, well, I'm a man of my word.
What did you just do?
What? I'm keeping up to my end of the deal. Of course, I did let all the other inmates let go in Arkham Asylum, so...
Wait, what?
You might want to make a break for laser food. Unless you want to be stuck in here forever. Well, bye-bye for now.
Holy shoot!
Hey! Where'd he go? Come out, Mr. Laser Dude. I ain't gonna hurt ya. I'm just gonna slice you up into little tiny pieces. Ah, there you are. Now this is one fish I'll be glad to got.
Scarface, you just brought a knife to a laser fight.
I'm in, boys!
Okay. Yes. Come on. There we go. Okay, now. Oh no. Okay, it's Batman. Okay, so sorry I pointed that laser gun at you. Now, please, before you, like, punch my teeth in or give me some fractures, please, I'm innocent and I can prove it. I can prove it. Just let me show you this one thing. I'm just gonna click on the mouse. So, I can prove to you that I was innocent. See, I'm Lazy99. I'm a YouTube reviewer, and Joker kidnapped me and put me in this asylum. Now, you can watch all my videos, because I knew that Joker was recording it and uploading it for me. So, you can see it all on here, what happened. I can see on your face you don't fully believe me, but you can see it all in here, and I don't think I'm going to waste your time by just hanging around. You got other criminals to catch, so I'm just going to knock myself out on this cabinet here because, save you time, and I'd probably do it a lot nicer than you will. So I'm going to knock myself out. You watch these when you have time, and let me out of Arkham, because Joker's a jerk. So, yeah, thank you, Mr. Batman. Oh, it's good to be back. Oh, trust me, after a week in an insane asylum, a chair has never felt so good. So, wow. I'm just happy to be alive after all that, and thankful that Batman didn't kick me while I was down. I will admit, it was a crazy experience. Now, I think I might have figured out why Joker took me. Because if you remember in my top 10 comic book locations, when I was talking about Arkham, I said how I never wanted to visit Arkham. I said that right in the video. Would I like to visit Arkham Asylum? No, not really. Maybe I could view it through a telescope from afar. I would not want to spend 10 minutes in that building if I want to hang on to my sanity. So, who knows? Maybe the Joker was telling the truth when he was saying that he was watching my videos, saw that I never wanted to go there, and just thought I would be funny to put me there. However, I'm back and I'm all good to go. So, it's time to get at some movies that, because of this, I fell behind on reviewing, so I'm going to be reviewing Ender's Game and Thor the Dark World pretty soon. So, thanks for everybody for watching Arkham Week. I'd like to say it was a lot of fun, but I'm not going to. So, thanks for watching and see you around.
You know, man, you're right. I had my doubts, but you're right. It was pretty fun kidnapping this pathetic little reviewer, but you were right. Anyways, next time you see Laser Dude, tell him I said hi from good old Mr. J.
I told you it'd be a lot of fun. That's what he gets for stabbing me in the back.
Riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? I live in the shadows, I work in the shade. A cape and a mask, a lonely keeper's crusade. Can you tell me I'm not insane? Sometimes I get this feeling about the law I'm dealing. Am I letting my reason wane? Have I been forsaken on this path?